Hey everyone, it's Radeint here. How's everybody doing? It's been a long time since I've been making any videos, but hoping to get back into that. I was waiting for Magic Arena to come out or do something, give us something. I mean, obviously if I got into the beta I couldn't do any videos on it, but I was hoping that it would come out since they teased us about it about 6 months ago, but they haven't done anything yet. So I just jumped back on MTG Online and started playing some games, playing some Pauper, Commander, and I've been playing some paper format throughout the last couple months too as well. You know, I haven't given up on that, but I didn't really want to do anything on MTG Online if I needed to play some stuff on Magic Arena, but that's not the case. So today I just wanted to jump in, give an update on where Pauper is right now, what I've been seeing. They came out, I think it was Channel Fireball said they're going to do Pauper side events at GPs. I know a lot of other streamers are pushing the Pauper format, and so I've noticed a lot of different changes in the Pauper format so far, at least online, and I just wanted to share that so far. First off, the cards in paper and online have definitely jumped up a little bit in price. I would say like top tier decks used to be around like $40 to $50 or so, like for the top tier 1 decks. Now they've jumped up to about, all the decks are ranging from $60 to about $100. I haven't seen any hitting 100 yet, but I mean they're getting up to like $80, $85. I know Gush, people have been talking about that card a lot. The card's up to $5 a card now, and that's in paper. It's like 16 or so online, something crazy. Maybe that was for 4. Maybe it's still like $4 or $5, $3 a piece online, but still pretty expensive for this format when we just want to pay pennies or a quarter for each card. And then also in the format, I noticed, at least online, that my tier 2 decks, the fun decks that I just build, like using common cards either from like whatever's available in standard or just like a new set that came out or just putting some tribal stuff together, doing whatever, those decks are not doing very good anymore. I've been trying to fix them up a little bit just so I can have some fun and not have to play like the deck that everybody else is playing, because that's the only one that wins. That's kind of what I liked about Pauper and what I didn't really like about Standard. But I noticed that those decks are getting crushed now because everybody is on the bandwagon. People want to get into Pauper, a cheap format they can play and not have to play Standard, or maybe, you know, just a side format to go along with Standard. But they're playing top tier decks. Everybody's playing these top tier decks now. Everybody's getting into the format. I feel like I rarely see like some strange or weird or custom brews online. It's mainly like a top tier deck or a top tier shell with like some changes maybe for their favorite cards or some things that they want to try out to make it a little different. Now I know last year in 2017 that the big deck was the red burn deck, which was everywhere. I felt like I saw that like 70 or 80% of the time. But I would say now we're seeing a couple other decks. This white heroic deck, they're calling it white weenie white here, but a lot of people call it heroics or some kind of enchantment deck. But they're playing Laguna Band Trailblazer and a Crone Skyguard. They're playing these cards that when they play enchantments, it buffs them up. And this deck's pretty good. I've seen a lot of this deck. I think it's because Tolarian Community College just did a deck tech on 2 of these decks, an instance and a enchantment deck. But definitely be on the lookout for this deck. It's coming out. A lot of people are playing it right now. At least the last like week or so, I've just seen this deck a lot. So definitely make sure your sideboard has some stuff for enchantments and possibly some instants. The other deck I've seen a lot of is this mono black control deck. Some people call it bee or rats or whatever. And this deck's really annoying and it's really strong. This chittering rats, when it comes down, the opponent puts a card from his hand on top of his library, so it's basically stalling you out for them to do whatever they want to. And then they have Gary here, comes down and deals a lot of damage to you, gains them life, puts them back in the game, or puts them way further out of reach from where you want to be. They got Gurmag Angler, so things are stalling out and they've done a lot of stuff already. They can just pop this guy out. And then they have the basic like Black Control. They have some draw, some Sign in Blood. But this deck's pretty good. I've tried several different things against it, and my decks are kind of failing against it. I think I've only beat it once so far, so that's a pretty good deck. I think what you want to play to beat this is go wide. It would be a little bit harder for you to for them to beat you if you go wide with a lot of creatures, because if it's fast enough, they can't just kill everything. They can't make you sacrifice it. This deck, I think, most of the time will beat that heroic enchantment deck, because a lot of times in that deck, or a lot of the decks, like the hexproof decks and any deck that's got like one creature, they're making you sacrifice it. So then there goes all your enchantments and everything. If you're seeing this deck a lot and you're playing that heroic style deck, you might want to go more of the instants or sorcery type route, to where you can cast those instants instead of putting enchantments down, and maybe that will help you out. Mono blue might be able to, or like is it Delver, or just a blue Delver? Even the Delver deck or the blue deck that has the ninjas in there, that could possibly be a good counter to this deck and beat it. But I think then you run into other issues like other blue decks and other decks, so it's pretty tough right now. I mean, a lot of people are playing this deck and that heroic deck, and then you have the other decks as well. You have Boggles. It looks like they won in that Seattle tournament. They didn't win, but they came in third. Burn's still up there. I haven't seen any green decks for a while now, probably the last 2 weeks. I haven't come across any green decks. It's really weird. Maybe one or two, but I usually don't see elves or goblins, but it looks like they came in between 5 and 8 rank. Now this mono Black Control deck came in 5 to 8 here, but from what I'm seeing online, it's pretty good. Obviously the Tron decks up top came in first and second. They're pretty tough to deal with because they just got a lot of good stuff, and once they get that mana out, they can do whatever they want to. So you definitely have to be running a little bit more aggro. So that's kind of the breakdown of what I've been seeing online lately. Hope everybody else is having fun with Pauper, making some cool decks, maybe making some different decks that you're not seeing too much online. But like I said, a lot of people are just running these top tier decks. And I keep seeing the regular Delver decks, the usual Control, Mono Blue, Blue Red, Burn decks. Haven't seen too much Burn decks though. They've kind of faded out. And it could just be who's online when I'm playing. Maybe a different time of day. There's a lot of Burn decks and none of these Mono Black decks. But yeah, so I just wanted to give an update on that stuff. So that's about it. And I'll try to make some new videos coming out, maybe a deck tech or something, or some gameplay of one of the decks that I have in Pauper. And I hope you all have a great day. See ya. Peace.